Hello and welcome back to another episode of Clarissa Cooks It All. Today we're going to be making a mushroom risotto with just a simple pan-seared pork chops to go with it. Today we're going to need mushroom, onion, butter, and oil. You're going to need arborio rice. And then you're also going to need chicken broth and white wine. And then for the pork chops, we're going to need, you also need heavy cream or a Parmesan cheese as well for the risotto. And then for the pork chops, we're just going to do some umami mushroom and, garlic herb and some pepper. And that's all we need for today. Let's get started. Now, I'm using this one. This one I just love this as a hot pot base. And I decided to use it one time for making risotto, and I love the flavor of it. So, and I always use this one to cut down the spice of this one. I love the flavoring in here. This tastes amazing. The only thing is it is extremely spicy. So tonight with my risotto, it's just me. I don't have the kids. So I'm going a little spicy with my risotto tonight. So we're going to be using a mix of these two. Okay, once your butter's melted, add in roughly a half cup of diced onion. Add in 2 mashed garlic cloves. Diced, minced. I thankfully have this lovely little thing from Pampered Chef, and it works absolutely amazing. To me, it's one of my favorite things I own right now because I use a lot of garlic. And we're only going to let this cook in here for just a couple more minutes with this. We're about to add in our rice. We're going to add in a cup of arborio rice. Okay, we're going to add in about 1.5 tablespoons of some oil. And then it's time to add in our rice. We got 2 cups of arborio rice in there. And now we want to mix this all up. And we're going to let this cook until our rice has started to brown. Once this starts to brown, we're going to add in about 1/2 cup of some white wine. Our rice is starting to brown. I'm not sure if you can see that. How the rice is just slightly starting to turn brown. We're just about ready. Okay, now I'm going to be using a cooking wine tonight. Don't judge me. I normally don't. This is not my thing. I'm not much of a drinker, but I've always been with the go-to. If it's not something you'd be willing to put into a glass and drink, you probably don't want to cook with it. So it's not really something I would normally use. However, it's what I have in the fridge right now, and it's what I have available. So tonight I will be using a white cooking wine, but it will work just the same. Now, at this point, you don't want to stop stirring until all of this has disappeared. Until this is all cooked down. You need to have about 6 cups of broth on the side. Once it starts to boil, you're going to bring it down and just let it simmer. You need to keep this warm during the entire cooking process. All right, that has pretty much disappeared. It's time to add in our first bit of broth. You want to do it 1 ladleful at a time. This is just about done now. You're going to want to check your texture of it before. But once you start seeing it get nice and creamy like that, you know you're just about at the end. There, we may need 1 more ladle, but I think we might be there. Okay. Now we're going to add in our mushrooms back into this. Mine I had pre-cooked. If you didn't have yours pre-cooked, you would have wanted to cook them right before the onion and taken them out of the pan and then cooked the onion and the rice and did everything else the same. Gently fold our mushrooms in. Now, I'm going to add a small amount of some heavy cream. Only about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more. Normally, I would add in, oops, I turned this off. Normally, I would add in a cheese. However, with the Asian flavors I was going with tonight, I didn't feel the cheese would be a right fit. So instead, I figured we'd go for a little bit of some heavy cream, cut down a little bit on the spice that I got going on in here. And it still makes it nice creamy. That's what we're looking for. Okay, we got our pork chops, and today we're going to be using some umami mushroom. So this is one of my favorite seasonings. Some garlic and herb from Pampered Chef, and then our cracked pepper. Alright, it's time to fry up our pork chops. Got a little bit of oil in the pan. I'm going to cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side.